trying to figure out where to put it there.
Star date, April something something.
April something something.
2018.
The best star date.
Lab test, 9,684.
Damn. I feel like it doesn't take that many to get this right. Damn. Gotta get it right on the edge.
85.
Damn, dude. Okay. This is not doing what I want it to do.
Sorry about my juice. Let me get my juice out anyway.
No,
Brought to you by Great Value, 100% white grape juice. We keep our grapes segregated up in this bitch.
We need the whitest grapes for murder. This is okay. Well,
Make America's grape again.
Make America's grape again.
Make America Great Value. White grape juice, please. White grape supremacy.
Goddamn. All the grapes are in the juicer. Like we have white grape support.
$86.
I mean, kind of, but I want it to be really exact. Because if you get it straight on, it like the whole spool will glow.
The whole spool.
Yeah.
Not the half spool.
Not the half spool. I mean, the whole spool was glowing for like a quarter of a second, but it wasn't very bright, and I felt like it didn't do a cool thing. So I want to get it cool.
87.
87. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I know how I'm gonna get this shit. He says as he doesn't find the thing he's looking for. There we go.
88.
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet, 88 buffet. First, we gotta go to New China.
Yep. That's the order that we do things in. There we go.
Have you tried frozen M&Ms yet?
You know what? I realized they were awful, so I didn't.
Do you think they're ever gonna come out with sweet heat M&Ms?
I hope they don't. I like one kind of M&M. Ah, fuck, but it's like there's a lot of light coming in. But let me see if I can find the other end of this one. Yeah! Yay. The laser light's traveling all the way through, and if I could block this light out over here. Scoomy. Nah, there's no way I can block a lot of that light out. Yeah, look! Oh shit, I just
It
bumped
fucked up,
it.
yeah.
My bad.
88.
Hey, I made it work. Also, we were on 88. Continuation. Okay, so that's my problem. It's not like as directly on it.
And can you explain a little bit about what's happening to those who are unaware?
Absolutely. Once I get this thing to brighten up a little bit and be cool. Oh shit. Okay, so you can see it's a little bit greener and like glowy.
Almost deaf.
Yeah. So the whole thing that's happening is really cool. This is a plastic mixed with glass fiber. So essentially, what it's doing is light's going into there through the laser. It's being trapped in there because the refractive index of this little inside slit is a lot higher than the outside. So it allows for light to go into this, and essentially it acts like two mirrors. So the light just bounces up and down all the way through there. So you can bend this and you can shape it in any way you want, and the light still comes out like that.
Mm.
And it's pretty cool. This is what people use for like super fast like internet and for creating things like prosthetic limbs and stuff like that. You can use it for biological purposes, which is really cool because a lot of the time they stimulate nerves using electricity. But if you send too much into there, it destroys the action potentials in between the nerves um, just from sending so much electricity through. So this is a way without damaging it at all that you can still get them to activate.
Now, you once did like a spider thing, where you like stimulated it with electricity. Could you do a similar thing with this? And if so, how would that work?
Well, this would be a really cool thing. You can absolutely do that. I've been looking up some tests online and stuff. One that's really cool is you can do it with a. I don't know about the optical signals, but I've been finding electric ones and trying to optimize them for optical signals. I know they've started to use optical signals for nerve stimulation, but I haven't been able to find like exact how-tos for how to do that. From what I understand, with one example for electrodes that's really cool is they'll have an earthworm, and they'll sit it. It'll be like it'll have anesthesia um, sent into it, and it will be placed on a bed of electrodes. And as those electrodes stimulate it, the worm itself, because it has anesthesia, won't just be able to react freely, but its nerves, depending on where it's excited, will interact and will move, so they can get the worm to move in different directions and stuff. With this, what would be really cool is um, and that's while the animal's alive. So one thing that would be really cool about this is that you're not shocking the animal, so it doesn't hurt it, or it doesn't give even in things that might not necessarily feel pain in the way that we do. Um, it activates those things without causing any physical damage. So with some strong electric current experiments, it'll either kill the animal or it'll damage it in some way that it can't really heal quickly. But with something like this, it would be almost completely non-invasive. For some animals, you might have to do like a surgical procedure to actually get these different pathways into it. But for something like a worm, I think you should be able to just put it on the outside. That's one thing I've been trying to figure out is with electrical stimulation, because you're going through the worm's skin, it's so thin that you can still get electrical signals to move through the skin and into the nerves. With this, though, because it's just light, which will send a very, very small, super small electric signal, um, there should still be a way to do that, but I'm not sure if the skin is thick enough or is thin enough to actually still allow it to penetrate, or if you need to actually put these photosensors in, or these photo emitters, I guess, into the body of the animal.
Hmm.
The cool thing about this is that you could create a big network of these to interact with lots of different places all at once and to send pulses through different ones to do different things at different times to get a really exact movement down. And if you left them in, it would just constantly train the animal to do that. The one difficulty with that is that, for example, they do it with cockroaches a lot of the time. There's something online you can look up that's a mind-controlled cockroach. That's essentially where they will hook up electrodes into the antenna of the cockroach and will send electrical impulses down to make it turn left or right. However, after a certain amount of time, the cockroach will get used to that, so it'll be able to fight it and it'll understand what's going on and it'll just sort of resist it like a twitch or something. But the difficulty with that is the way that you continue to make the cockroach respond is either one to have it wait, just essentially to put it back in its enclosure, because it's fine without, besides a little bit of its antenna being removed. You just put it back in its enclosure and allow it to essentially forget what that nerve stimulation was like and do it again, or you increase the current supplied to it. But that becomes something that's dangerous for it because the more current that goes through it can harm the animal and eventually kill it. So with this, what might be cool is because you can change the frequency that the light goes through, and because there's a lot larger range of frequencies in light, then there would be increases in current that you could reach for a specific nerve. What you might be able to do is design an experiment where you use lower frequencies at the beginning to start stimulating these nerves and have it be sort of a slow paced thing. And then if the animal adjusts, change to a higher frequency, and then when it adjusts to that, drop down to a lower frequency, and keep doing that in a fairly regular pattern so that you could have the same network hooked up to it near constantly, but always have it react in the way that you want it to, so long as you know the algorithm for how you want to control that.
Well, that's all the time we have. But thank you for showing us that. I truly appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And I hope everyone likes the video. If you have any questions for Winslow, would you mind if people left questions in the comment section below?
Not at all. I'll definitely try and answer them. At some point, I want to do a lot more with this. So if you want to look forward to more videos like this, definitely check out my channel, The Empire of Aeternia. We'll be doing a lot more stuff like this.
Make sure to spell it.
The Empire of Aeternia. So Empire is Empire, of, and then Aeternia is Aeternia.
Well, thank you all once again for watching. This is your host, your friend, your boy,
Me.
logging out. Peace.